everybody? Welcome to another edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder. This is the show where we talk about sports with comedians, because that's what we do. I hope you all had a great weekend. We get ready to jump into the show. First up, my man T, Talent. Talent, how you doing, bro? How was your weekend?
Oh man, weekend was stupendous. Very busy. Survived it though. Survived it. So we troopers at this, Frank. That's what we do.
No doubt, no doubt. My man Fig is in the building too. Fig, what's happening?
Man, it was an absolute amazing weekend, man. Highs and lows. Highs and lows, but more highs than lows, though.
That's how it be. That's how it be. My man Daniel Dugar is also in the building. How you doing, sir? How's everything?
What's up, brothers? It's all good.
Yeah, man.
Power, brother. Power, brother. Power.
It's all good.
I appreciate you joining the show, Double D. Appreciate you doing that.
Hey, man, I've been on the ships, man. That's why I ain't been in the Wi-Fi on the ship. I'll be like this, stuck, because the Wi-Fi is bad out there. So I'm home this week. So here I am.
There it is. Mike Sean is in the building too. Mike, what's happening? How you doing, sir?
What up, fellas? What's going on?
So we're gonna get ready to jump into the show, man. And the crazy thing is, I heard some news over the weekend. Actually, we didn't do a show Friday. I heard some news over the weekend. I couldn't wait to jump into. So I'm gonna jump into it first, and you guys tell me what you think. Let me start with you, T. Watson. On Friday, he was trying to sit down with his attorneys and everything else, trying to figure out what he was going to do. Saturday, the news came out, the NFL Players Association, and Deshaun Watson's advisors, they could not come to an agreement on how long Deshaun Watson would be suspended. That's what the problem was. Saturday afternoon, they decided they were going to have a hearing and then let everybody know about the hearing and everything else out, which is going to start tomorrow. The hearing is going to decide how long Deshaun Watson's basically how long he's going to be out of the league. That's how the hearing is going to be. Deshaun Watson is completely against being kicked out of the league for a year. So off the rip, there's NFL, according to sources, is saying he's going to be suspended for the year to start. It could be 2 years. It could be indefinitely. That's where we're starting at, team. What's your take?
I don't see it being that much myself. I think that they're going to get back to the business of doing business. You know what I mean? They just glad this thing didn't spillage into the criminal side and all that good stuff is going away. So I think I stick with my number, man. 6 to 8 games. I don't care about the rumors. I don't think they're going to take too long away from the getting back to business, so to speak. So that's what I'm thinking of. By the way, somebody got some feedback over this.
We'll figure it out in a second. Mike Sean, I'm gonna throw this out to you. Tom Brady got 4 games for a deflated air ball. Do you honestly think that Deshaun Watson's gonna get 4 games, or do you think it's probably gonna lean more to the indefinite side? What's your thoughts when you think is that?
I'm worried because lawyers first said they took indefinite off the board, which means it was on the board to be suspended like Ray Rice indefinitely. That made me worried. Then the second one keeps being repeated over and over again about 1 year. And when they put these tidbits out there, they're not out there by coincidence.
Right.
This is not a leak that happened by mistake. They're leaking this information on purpose, trying to get people prepared for what's about to happen. And I don't think that year is going to be too far-fetched. And what the problem is, they would have given him the year, I think, off the door, but they still got to punish Daniel Snyder.
Right.
So they don't want the payback if they give Deshaun Watson a year. Well, guess what Snyder's got to get if he comes out dirty on this? Mm-hmm. And then they'll have that whole dilemma of why is the quarterback getting this and why are the owners getting that? Why is Robert Kraft doing the same thing Deshaun Watson did and not get suspended even though he's on video? And why is Daniel Snyder? It's a whole complicated thing. But when they start leaking information like a year, they're not slick. They're doing this for a reason.
I agree with that one. Fig, let me ask you this, bro. Where do you see literally this landing at? Do you see Deshaun Watson 6 games, 10 games, a year? Like I said, the Players Association is kicking back against all of this and everything else. So the Players Association came forward. They know what the suggestion is, and they don't like it off rip because of the ramifications of what it could do to other players. What's your thought on this, Vic?
I think we like we talked about it before. I think Cleveland talked to the NFL, figured out what it was going to be. It came out to 8 games. And I think that's probably what it's going to be. This is Deshaun Watson's first offense. It's not a criminal case. It's a civil case. And I can't imagine, I don't care how many number of plaintiffs that you come out in a civil case that want money. I can't imagine that you're going to suspend a guy for an entire year because somebody is suing him for money. We have players get a lot less after committing violent crimes. Doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
Daniel Dugar, the fact remains this. You got a player right now. He has 24 cases. 20 of them already settled. The NFL wants to appease, obviously, the general audience. The NFL Players Association wants to make sure there's no ruckus. Where do you think this whole thing lands at? Because right now, indefinite to me, it's like a year. And
so I think what Mike was saying, information is being leaked out. Because what you don't want is for your fan base to have backlash also, regardless to you signing this guy. I say anywhere from 10 games to a year. I think they're going to want to make some sort of example out of this situation, man. If he doesn't play at all this year, I wouldn't be surprised. But like you say, man, it's not a criminal case. It's a civil. But so many people in the public eyes, they still look at a civil as a criminal case, as a criminal offense. And you got to say to your fan base, what is that going to look like if you have a guy that's QBing on your team with a slap on the wrist to all of these organizations, man, that will end up protesting and all this kind of madness. So that's how I see it.
All right, so let me keep this show going. Keep it real. Oh, first of all, let me just throw a quick shout out to the Colorado Avalanche, who won, obviously, the Stanley Cup. Third time for them to be able to lock this in. Congratulations to them. People say we don't talk about hockey, so let me just throw that out there, say congratulations to them. But Mike, Sean, in other news, I want to throw this out to you. In other news, over the weekend, a Russian court has set July 1st as a start date for Brittany Griner's trial. The problem is that the U.S. Embassy has discovered that Brittany Griner is facing 10 years in prison if she's found guilty of charges of a large-scale transportation of drugs. She's facing 10 years. And according to what I've been reading, is that the Russian government is trying to make sure she does every day of that 10 years. That's what I've been hearing. Mike?
I don't even know what type of commentary to give to that. It's so out of our realm of it's out the realm of our court system.
Right.
I mean, I take it as she's a prisoner of war. I don't care what the technicalities is, what she had on her, or whatever. I take it as she's a prisoner of war right now. And I'll repeat, if this was Tiger Woods, if this was Tom Brady, we would do something drastic to make sure that athlete got out of there, because it's really a slap in the face that Russia's doing right now. To have an elite athlete held under some type of possession of whatever marijuana. But I pray for her, because if they really do want her to do 10 years in a Russian prison, they can really make that happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Fig, let's be honest, they don't really have a parole system like the United States has. They don't have that. So 10 years is going to be 10 years. Matter of fact, I don't even think they have good time. I'll check into that. I don't even think they have good time. If they say it's 9 years and 6 months, it's going to be 9 years, 6 months. If they say it's going to be 8 and 5, that's what it's going to be. What's your thought process on how this can affect us over here, thinking about a star athlete being held in prison for that long period of time in Russia? What do you think, Fig?
Well, the first thing I just want to let y'all know that Fig loves hockey.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Now, number two.
Why did you do that?
Number two. The thing is that what they're trying to negotiate, what Russia is trying to do, is trying to negotiate to get one of their spies home that are here in the American prison. So what they're doing, they're threatening with a lot. And then once they get what they want, they're going to pull back off of it, and they're going to let this young woman go. She's, just like Mike said, she's probably a prisoner of war, and they're using her as a pawn to get a piece back that's a lot bigger that the United States has. It's already come out. There's this guy that they want back that's locked up in the United States prison, and they're saying, look, if you want this young lady back, give us this guy. And the United States pushed back on it initially, and eventually that's what you get. It's almost like the Deshaun Watson thing. You shoot for the stars and you make it ridiculous, and then they accept 8 games or whatever, and then that's the deal.
T, at the end of the day, it's going to affect a lot of people because it's an athlete that is in the name and the headlines and everything else. She's a WNBA. WNBA has now started to ascend in a lot of circles and everything else. She's a star to a certain degree. What's your thought process, T, on how this will affect, a lot of little girls who want to play in the WNBA, who look up to her as a star? T, you're on mute, by the way. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, shout out to Colorado for winning Stanley Cup. Fig showed a picture in the hockey jersey. We all got hockey jerseys.
With the Stanley Cup.
That was the style at one point, bro. I got a Buffalo Sabres on. But Colorado, when you think of ice hockey, they should win, right? Colorado just sounds right. Anyway, but I think I agree with Fig. I did hear some rumblings about there's somebody that they want released, and they're going to be negotiating doing that. I think it's ludicrous. It's definitely absurd to hold this young lady over there, but like right now for whatever reason. And on top of that, you're a country at war. You got bigger and crazier things to worry about than smacking a 10-year sentence on a young lady for I'm with Mike. Oh yeah, okay, broke a little law. You got some, but come on, 10 years, 10 years for the little vape joint. Come on,
yeah,
10 years.
But Dana Dugar, but the way they handle crime overseas, we don't handle crime the same way.
So
what's your thoughts, Steve?
I hate to say it, but she gonna do some time.
Yep.
It doesn't make sense for Russia, that's being very petty, to get what they want, which is this spy dude who possibly, arguably, has information. There's no way, if I'm the president, I'm letting that happen. So, that's just a tough seat that you sit in when you hold that position. We're not going to negotiate any known spies or terrorists to release Frank, Mike, Fig, Taylor, and Dugar. Those are the cards that are dealt, and it's a tough one to swallow. But that's the reality when you're dealing with another power country that wants control and are going to use this young lady as a weapon to get what they want, man, as a carrot. It's not going to happen. She's going to do some time. And people need to get prepared for her book in 10 years if she survives it and doesn't commit suicide. I'm just being honest right now, man, because that's what's going to happen. It's going to be hell on earth. And I don't even want to say that because we don't know what hell looks like or what it feels like. But it's going to be all bad for her, bro.
Yeah.
And that's just it. And she's gay.
Yeah.
And she's black.
Yeah.
It's going to be all bad, bro.
Yeah. It's going to be all bad. All right. So before we jump into rapid fire questions, I want to drop out one serious question too, and then we're gonna jump into rapid fire. Fig, you up first with this question. I'm gonna ask all you guys somewhat of this question. We all heard about the Kyrie Irving situation. As of Friday, he released 6 teams he wanted to play for: the Lakers, the Clippers, the Knicks, the Heat, the Mavs, and the Sixers. This morning, the Lakers are the only teams that have expressed somewhat of interest on dealing with Kyrie because of the Kyrie situation. It's the Lakers right now. Kyrie Irving was also interviewed on the BET Awards red carpet. He declined to even answer whether or not he wanted to stay on the. I don't know if you all even saw that either. Fig, what do you think all this stuff is leading to? I think I see a divorce between Kyrie and the Nets real fast. That's what I see, and I don't think that I think Stevie Wonder can see that too. What you think, Fig? Where you at with this Kyrie Irving situation?
And listen, it's kind of hard to speak for a man who changes his mind like the wind blows as to what it is that he's going to do or not going to do. If I was Kyrie Irving, I'd take that $37 million for this year coming up because that's the most money that he's probably going to get. The Lakers want him more than any other team that he suggested interest in. And what does that tell you about the Lakers? They're desperate. The Lakers are desperate. And another last point is that the last time we seen Kyrie at a championship level, he was playing alongside a current Laker player, and that was LeBron James. And that's probably why the Lakers are willing to take an opportunity or take a chance on Kyrie Irving.
T, do you honestly think that putting the Lakers in this situation, in these conversations, is somewhat going to be beneficial, or do you think LeBron James is not having it? What's your thought on this? Where are you at on this, T?
I think the Lakers don't do anything without talking to LeBron. I think he already knows. First of all, the Nets have gave Kyrie and his camp permission to seek a sign and trade. So that's a kind of a indication of where we're going. No ifs and buts about it. They're not even fighting for it. Yeah, take your team, and if you can find a good sign and trade, we'll sign all. We good with it. I think that he's going across the street. In my heart of hearts, I think it's the easiest move at this point. And I think it's a move that both people need. He needs a new home, obviously, and the New York Knicks needs a point guard, obviously. So I think that's the perfect fit. I don't know if he wants to go all the way West Coast. I think he came east all the way up to New York for a reason. So I think he stays in the vicinity, different team, and gets what he wants. Like in a sign and trade, he's going to get that 30 whatever million anyway. Now it becomes a point of whoever that new team is. Do you re-up and re-sign? But right now, I think it's over. I think he comes across the street, over the bridge.
For Daniel Dugar, none of the teams have the cap space to do this. All of the teams got to do all kind of work to get him. Do you honestly see anybody else besides the Lakers jumping through hoops to get Kyrie with his?
It has to, for it to work. First of all, man, I don't respect the guy anymore. I think he's a bum. For him, if he opts in, what is it, 4 years, 196? If he opts out, sign and trade is 4 years, 186. So he loses $10 million. This guy is unreliable. If I was the Nets, I would not max him out because he's detrimental to the team. It doesn't matter where he goes. If he really wants to have a shot at winning something, he will go to Miami. Going to the Lakers is not going to help him. Going to the Clippers is not going to help him. I don't really care about the cat anymore, man, because I'm sitting here watching a dude who talked KD into leaving, which KD should have stayed, but KD made his own decision to go. Now you bailing on KD. So now KD gonna want to bounce. You know, that's cancer to me, man. And Kyrie can just do whatever he wants to do, but I wouldn't give him no money.
Mike, Sean, what's your thoughts on this? Because you've been talking about this, you've been right about this for over 18 months now, bro. What's your thoughts?
I really like Kyrie, yo. I really do, but he's tiring, man. Like he starts to wear, and I know it's not his fault. It is his fault, but the media is so in your face with it all the time that you just start getting tired of hearing about it. I don't think the Lakers can do it unless Brooklyn takes Russell Westbrook. I guess it would be a good fit if he could play with the Lakers and LeBron knows how to play with him, and maybe they could do something if Anthony Davis stays healthy. Another if. So he's starting to become, the talent is so great that it's going to be it could be very soon that the talent isn't worth what comes with it and what you have to deal with it and how you have to be smack dead in the middle of the headlines every single day trying to figure out, is Kyrie going to say another statement and say the earth is flat and Alaska is hot? I don't know, but it's going to come to that point. You're not going to be the most talented or one of the most talented players in the league forever. So I would opt into this contract and take this money, because one thing I think Fig is right about is this is the last mega contract that you're going to get in this league.
Yeah, I didn't know that about that. T, you up first. Now we're getting ready to do rapid fire. You up first, T. I'm getting ready to ask all you guys different questions, and you know how we do. We're going to keep this show moving because we got a lot of stuff to go through. Kemba Walker was traded from the Knicks on Friday morning. He brought himself out. He's now not belong with New York Knicks. He's going to land somewhere else. I think the Knicks are definitely making this move so they can sign Jalen Brunson. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They want to get Jalen Brunson that huge contract. So they try to clear cap space and everything else. Where do you think Kemba Walker's going to land, T? And are you happy with Kemba Walker's off the Knicks?
Hell yeah. I've never been so happy to see somebody come and go in the same door. I was ecstatic to get him. I'm ludicrously, overwhelmingly happy to get rid of him. What I really believe though is unfortunate. I really believe his good days are behind him, and I think whatever this injury is, whatever this nagging recurrent thing is, I think it's there to stay. I don't think we're going to see the great Kemba we've seen in years past. And I think the Knicks know that. If one thing the Knicks have gotten to be veterans at is injury-prone MFers. Mm-hmm. You know, the one thing we've had more than our share of the come and goers of knees and ankles and hamstrings and Achilles and back. We don't have. I think we don't have every injury you can get. Think about it: toe, back, knees, ankles, Achilles. We done retired 3 guys with tendonitis.
Yeah, well, you know something, T? I remember at the beginning of the year, I said it's not gonna be a good look for Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker. I was like, man, I was happy the Celtics got rid of those 2 guys.
Yeah. You guys knew something. You guys knew something.
I like Fournier. I like Fournier.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I like Fournier.
Fournier, I love Fournier.
Yeah, I like him.
Fournier's gone. He's gone off the Knicks, and it's for a reason because his shooting percentage dropped from. Y'all get me off. You get me off topic. Fig, question I have for you is obviously, like I said, they cleared off cap space. They want to get this Brunson kid, everything else. Do you think Brunson is going to be the guy who's going to help attract more players to come to the Knicks? And B, do you think the Knicks are going to be a better team with Brunson than they were with Kemba Walker?
The first part of the question, I couldn't imagine that Jalen Brunson is the type of player that moves the needle that wants free agents to come to the New York Knicks. But the one thing that I do see is that he's a really, really, really good to great point guard. And to be quite honest with you, I was reading something, I think it was either yesterday or earlier today. Jalen Brunson is the Knicks' first option over Kyrie. I think Kyrie is like second or third option if they can't get Jalen Brunson and somebody else. And I don't even know who the somebody else is, but it's definitely not Kyrie.
You don't know who somebody else is.
It's like a third option. Kyrie is like their third option that they would be interested in. Jalen Brunson is first. With the type of young players that we already have, you add a floor general point guard like a Jalen Brunson, and the Knicks are going to be a lot better. Absolutely.
Daniel Dugar, question I got for you is the Sixers traded Danny Green on Friday for the number 23 pick to the Grizzlies and for the Anthony Melton. The Sixers are continuing to lose players and everything else like that. You know what I mean? So are the Sixers better or worse without Danny Green? What you think?
I think they're better.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was on his way out anyway. So you're just freeing up some cap space. I just don't, all these moves that are being made, man, all the moves that are being made, you guys are going to overpay Bronson. He is not a Richter scale mover for me. And everybody is going to overpay and stack their teams just to beat this team. And this team is going to repeat. So they could do whatever they want.
Mike Sean, I like how you did threw that out there real fast. Mike Sean, John Wall is rumored. Actually, it's past rumoring stages now. As of this morning, I read that it's happening. The Rockets and John Wall are expected to negotiate a buyout. And if successful, the Clippers, the Lakers, and the Heat are supposed to be stepping up to the table right now. And it looks like the Heat's in the number 1 contention for John Wall once he buys out this contract. You like that idea, John Wall landing on Miami?
I just want to say this. The GM from the Wizards, I want to know his name, and I need that name to be publicized on why his dumb ass gave John Wall that ridiculous ass contract that for 4 years has had general managers trying to renegotiate their budget and having salary cap experts trying to figure out who paid this guy that. Yeah. Isn't it $47 million he makes this
47.
year?
Yeah.
So yeah, they got to renegotiate his contract. And I need the guy who gave Westbrook that ridiculous contract. And I need these general managers, their names to be put on Front Street instead of just the player being put on Front Street for not meeting what the contract gave him. Y'all signed them. Y'all the ones who are ruining the budget in the NBA and forcing other teams to have to figure out their situation. So John Wall, if he's smart, he will put his ego to the side and make it fan-friendly for the Heat to put him on there. And I think they'll use him correctly. Will that make him win a championship? I don't know, but it'll get him. It'll keep him smack dab in the playoff hunt and probably in the Eastern Conference Finals or something.
I literally lost my place. I think Daniel Dugar's next, right? Yeah. So Daniel Dugar, Dame Lillard literally posted an IG story featuring him and KD over the weekend. He took it down literally 3 hours later. Everybody's like, ooh. And then it came down 3 hours later. We all know KD is in play if Kyrie's gone. What's your thoughts on this about KD possibly being wanted by Dame Lillard and everything else with Portland? Make sense?
KD's going to end up in Miami.
Mm-hmm. That's it?
That's it. I'm short and sweet and to the point.
All right, you hear that? See, KD's going to land in Miami. I don't see that happening at all.
I heard that he said he's sweet. That's what I heard.
Okay. You like the fact about Dame Lillard putting that thing up with Portland with KD? You like that? Make sense?
I would love to see them play together. But does he go there? He goes there. I would love to see them two on if he's coming to the Nets and they figure out that miracle, that's dope. But to go to Portland, might be a step back. You're going back into the Western Conference. So that might be a step back. Why would you leave the East where you always just got one little chip piece away from top 3-4 teams and go into that little vestibule fight over there, the little bull fight in the West? That's a bull fight.
With a bunch of 19-year-olds.
Why would I do that? You ever see Kramer? When Kramer took karate on Seinfeld, he was in a 9-year-old class. All the odds was in his favor. You're not going to a grown man class. Why would you go? You're getting older. The games get more competitive. You're on the East. You're almost guaranteed with one other piece. You're almost guaranteed to be in top 5. Why would I go to the West, to Portland, nevertheless, and hustle and bustle with all this going on over there? I don't see that. Not that way.
Yeah, Fig. That Dame Lillard, that was definitely a wish list. KD going to Portland, I think, is a wish list too. So, anyway, what do you think? Do you think KD? Because Kyrie's going to leave, and I think KD's next is going to leave. Is going to request a trade also. Where do you see KD landing at? Fig.
You know, the funny thing about it is to me is that I think I would hope that KD made his last mistake hitching his wagon to Kyrie Irving. I mean, Kyrie, if he decides that he's going to go out, he's going to leave or whatever and stuff like that, he has to leave $37 million for this year on the table and go play for something a lot less. If I'm KD, if I'm Kevin Durant, I'm like, yo, you can't run this back for 1 year. You know, you asked me to come here. You can't run it back for 1 year. I think KD stays in Brooklyn with Ben Simmons and whatever Brooklyn can surround him with and take his chances there. If I'm KD, why would I leave? It doesn't make any sense. It would take a lot to get KD up out of there because he's still got 4 years left on his contract. Another team would have to give up their whole damn farm to get Kevin Durant. You got to match that salary. I don't know a team out there that can do it.
Mike Sean, are you of the thought process that KD should stay or KD should go?
Yeah, I feel so bad for Dame Lillard because he's such a great player. But how many times Star's going to tell you no every time you try and get him to go to Portland? No. No.
You got to go somewhere.
like CJ McCullough left you. Like, no. They're not coming to Portland. You're going to have to get out of Portland, Dame.
Right.
You're going to have to push yourself out of there or else you're never going to get the credit you deserve. You're one of the elite players in his league, and you're stuck in Portland. Portland's beautiful. Portland, Oregon is beautiful. If you ever been out there, they've got beautiful things. But when it comes to basketball right now, you need to – KD's not coming out there. You got to come to him. Pause. But you do.
I think that's the thing. Daniel, let's see if you're going to talk a lot about this one. Zach LaVine is about to become a unrestricted free agent on Wednesday, 4:00. Everything else, he's going to get hit with all kinds of offers and everything else. Where do you think Zach LaVine lands? Or do you think he stays with Chicago? E?
You talking to me?
Yes, Daniel Dugar. Yes.
Man, this is what I don't understand about this culture of basketball, man. This era. Nobody is loyal to their franchise. Nobody stays to build. They all want to bounce and jump ship and go and team up with somebody else. Zach LaVine, man, it's hard to say, bro. It's hard to say where he's going to go, but I got a funny feeling that the Miami Heat is going to get somebody. And I wouldn't be surprised if Zach LaVine went to Portland and played with Dame Lillard.
Okay. See, do you think Zach LaVine is going to stay, or you think he's going to go? Where do you think he's going to land at? Because Zach LaVine, they're building out there in Chicago. Let's not forget, they were the number one in the East for 3.5 months.
Right. I think they're going to stay. I think he's going to stay. I think Chicago's close, man. We talk about two teams we talk about a lot more in the past year and a half is Chicago and Miami. And I think them teams are not in a position to be letting things go right now. They didn't built to get this far, and they're knocking on that door. We've seen what just happened. You know what I mean? We just seen what just happened. They knocked on the door, both teams. And then one got right there, right before the chip. So between them two teams, I think Chicago is smart enough to keep nipping away at those little pieces. Because, I mean, these guys, when you look at these were the best playoffs in a minute. And a lot of these things came down to 1 or 2 shots. So I wouldn't be dismantling my team because I missed the jumper from the corner. I'm just going to shoot for another corner next year.
That's what I'm trying to say. The other headline free agent is Bradley Beal. Everybody's expecting to opt out and get bombarded by Washington, literally with a huge amount of money. But like I said last week, Washington could pay him the most, but he said he wants to go to a winning franchise. There are 3 or 4 teams up there that's leading, saying they want him the most. And like we all talk about Miami, people are saying Miami's where he's going to head to. You see that?
No, I honestly believe my worst nightmare might happen. I think he's going to be a Sixer. And I think that's why they freed up some space. And I think they're going to make the push to Bradley Beal. You can say what you want about James Harden, but he is a good point guard right now. He's not a superstar anymore, but he's a quality point guard who'll get you, and he can still hit a step back 3-point every once in a while. But he runs the offense, and he doesn't want to be the main focus as a scorer anymore. He just doesn't. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know where the mentality went. I don't know if he just lost a step, because when watching him with the Sixers, I watched him in the playoffs have 4 shot attempts in the first half of games. So Bradley Beal might be the piece of a guy who's going to shoot 17 to 20 times a game and Embiid to have some help. And if they get Bradley Beal, they're dangerous then.
Yeah, they're absolutely dangerous. Fig, the Detroit Pistons are trying to trade for Gordon Hayward out of North Carolina. We all know how Gordon Hayward is, and everybody's saying he's made of glass and everything else. Detroit Pistons are trying to trade for him, and Miami Heat are trying to pay. Miami's literally in all topics of conversation right now. But it looks like because of the money, Gordon Hayward may land in Detroit. Where do you want to see Gordon Hayward at, in Detroit or Miami? Let's not forget now, Detroit they got a good kid in the draft. You know what I mean? And they already had that other kid, that rookie of the contest, was rookie of the year last year. So Gordon Hayward was that Jordan Ivey kid, and the other kid they had with the Afro, and I can't remember his name either. But they're putting together a squad over in Detroit. So Detroit or Miami? What do you think?
Here's the thing. You take a guy. Okay. Detroit Pistons are very young. To get another player that's of age, injury prone, he's just going to go over there and do what? He's not going to make any needle move over there. So I think the best bet for him is to go over to Miami, because Miami is a contender. If he's going to help anybody do anything within the next year or so, it would have to be Miami, because you got young players that are upstart and look like they could do something in Detroit, but they're at least 3 to 4 years out. It takes a rookie about 3 to 4 years to kind of figure it out, get his NBA legs and start to make an impact on his team. Detroit is at least 3 to 4 years out before they start making any noise with these young players. I can't see I can't see anybody helping them out like that with all these young players. So I'd say Miami.
All right, so he said Miami. So now, because we're doing this rapid fire and everything else, like I said, everything, I want to be able to switch up the sports real fast, and I'm going to start with Daniel Dugar. You're going to be up first, bro. Especially because you know a lot about the Raiders, man. Warren Sapp said he heard Colin Kaepernick's workout with the Raiders was a disaster, quote unquote. It seems like a lot of players are agreeing with him that they don't want to go on record with that.
I don't know if I mentioned it, but like I knew it was just going to be a publicity stunt, and the Raiders, they wanted to get some traffic coming there to Vegas. Kaepernick is done, man. He's been done.
Yo.
And that's just the reality of it. I don't even know why he's still in the news.
Okay. All right. So that's your thought. See, I want to ask you, man, what are you thinking about this Warren Sapp news? Warren Sapp basically came out and said that literally Colin Kaepernick's, according to players who talked to him, they said his workout was a disaster, quote unquote. That's what he said. Shocking to me. I didn't think it was that bad from what I've heard from people who I've heard, circles I've heard, but a lot of people are saying that coming out of Raiders camp. And what do you think? You agree with D?
You got a point there. I mean, he said it all disrespectful. Warren Sapp is phase on love.
His phase on love.
Yeah, I had an argument with a guy. What's that joint, Couples Retreat, the movie that Faison was in? I'm on the crew, had an argument with a dude talking about Warren Sapp killed that movie. I said, that's not Warren Sapp. It's Faison Love. Tell me. Been a fan since his college days. So, needless to say, white people still think we all look like. Listen, you got a point there. I mean, as this clock ticks, we got to accept some form of reality. And his reality is being like the clock is ticking. So look how many years this fight's went on. Like, you're not going to be that guy that got blackballed. You're going to be that guy 5-6 years down the line, and we know it ain't going to be exactly the same. Can he play the game? I don't know. I didn't see the workout, but they're going to judge you like that. They're going to judge you like, oh, last time he played was, this 18, 17, 16. That's how they always going to do. We are in 22 going on 23.
Fig, you see Colin Kaepernick in the league ever again?
Not because he can't play. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger, who just left the Pittsburgh Steelers last year, which is my new team, was outside with his grandchild, and the grandchild was like not even a foot from him, and he couldn't throw the ball to his grandchild without it hitting the floor first. So Ben Roethlisberger was 150.
Right.
Playing a starting quarterback for a storybook franchise like the Pittsburgh Steelers, couldn't throw the ball from here to there. Colin Kaepernick is 34. He's 34, people. We got quarterbacks playing well into their 40s. And you mean to tell me he's done? He's done at 34?
He was never that good.
Stop it. Dugar, stop it. Stop it. He's 34. It's a quarterback. It's a new league. It's a new league. It's not the old school quarterbacks anymore. Colin Kaepernick knows more about football and playing the game at a different level than any of these guys can fathom. Stop it. Colin Kaepernick is not done. Will he be in the league? That's up to the owners.
Mike Sean, where are you at with this Colin Kaepernick thing?
Speaking of the owners, Mike Sean.
What we're not going to do is take Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp, the only thing more horrendous than Colin Kaepernick's tryout was your performance on the NFL Network. How about that? That's what was horrendous. That's what was disgusting. Don't think we forgot. There's still footage of that commentary and that miracle of having that job for as long as you had it. Listen, Tim Tebow once completed 6 passes in a game and literally got another job the next year with the Jets. Colin Kaepernick should be a backup quarterback. We can name scrub after scrub after scrub that's on the bench. Now, is he kind of tainting his legacy right now? by looking like he's begging to be in this league that he stood so firmly against? You could say so, but I'm not going to tell a man not to follow his dream. Will he be in the NFL? Doubt it. Am I saying that because of Warren Sapp's commentary? Fuck out of here.
Ooh, there you go. There you go with that team. You up first, bro. Miami Dolphins, Tyreek Hill, it says he's got death threats for his comments on Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, and he basically was saying, as we all remember, he was saying that Patrick Mahomes was not as accurate as his new Miami quarterback, Tua. What were your thoughts about him getting death threats, about Tyreek Hill getting death threats?
Did you say death threats?
Death threats, yes. People are mad.
You know, the only thing that don't scare me is death threats. Because that's anybody can do that. I can pick the phone up, I'll kill you, and hang up. That's a death threat. They literally don't. No, really. You know how people pick the phone to make random calls? They literally could not be nowhere near you, could not know who you are, blah, blah, blah. But all they got to do is pick the phone and go, I'm going to kill you, son of a bitch, and hang up. That's a death threat. So the fans are out of control. People that make these calls, they do it. I guarantee you a year doesn't go by where somebody don't get that. So if I'm him, I'm not really worried about that. You know you're going to get some silly fan calls when you say anything about anybody's idol. Clearly somebody loves Mahomes, and all you ain't saying nothing bad about him, just like, oh, I like my new quarterback. I'm going to kill you for that. I'm going to kill you for that. It's my new quarterback. I'm supposed to say that. I'm supposed to come in here with positive energy. You know what I mean? So, god damn. I hate to tell Fig he funny. 2 other comedians be on my voice, but we'll kill you.
Mike Sean, you like this statement? What your thought about how crazy this is? You know what I mean? Because Tyreek Hill is going through it right now in the city of Miami.
Do you know what a loser you have to be to send a death threat because a man said another man had a better touch on a ball?
Pause.
Pause.
And not say pause. Do you know what type of waste of life you are because you're mad that a man complimented another man over a man that you must obviously obsess over each and every day? Yo, it's a sick world, man. You're the type of dude that if we find you, you should be banned from life. We should put you somewhere that's somewhere where you can never be functional amongst normal people, because that is absolutely ridiculous, man.
I agree with that one. Dugas, what's your thoughts?
I mean, that's just like me saying for my physical last week, and the doctor took the napkins and threw them on the table and said, "Here, wipe yourself off." You know what I'm saying? It's like, I ain't gonna get no death threats because your fingers is thinner than my doctor I had in California. That is ludicrous. That's asinine. That's dumb.
Hey, man. What was
I
you
mean, my new doctor, man, he just, okay, we're going to do, okay, everything's good. Okay, and then he took the Kleenex and threw them on the table and said, "Here, wipe yourself off."
What was he doing to you, man?
That was disrespectful.
Hey, he went to the second knuckle. He had to check the prostate. He went to the second knuckle. But the way he said it, he made me feel like I was trash. Because he's just like, "Here, wipe yourself off." You know? So here I am wiping myself off the jail. You know what I'm saying? The way he said it, but it didn't warrant a death threat.
Y'all are too much. Fig, what's your thoughts, process?
Yo, man, I actually couldn't believe that it was a real death threat. I thought you meant deaf as in DEF, as in Def Comedy Jam and So Def. Like the threat was so dope that somebody called it a death threat. Like, yo, this threat was hype. You got to read this. Who? It's like Mike said. Who has the time and the inclination to send a death threat to a receiver who says his current quarterback is better than his former quarterback? The guy who actually has to throw you the ball this year. That's dumb.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. All right, Mike Sean.
I feel your pain.
Mike Sean, you up. Jimmy G is supposed to be making a return to practice this week because he's returning from shoulder surgery and everything else. People are excited about him. Martellus Bennett used to play for the Patriots, said that Jimmy G is literally a BI. He said on the podcast, he's a BI, you already know, because he doesn't like to play with injuries, even though everybody else is playing with injuries and everything else. So he's upset. And a lot of NFL players are talking about that too. What are your thought process about hearing Jimmy G coming back, and then other players calling him out. Matter of fact, Jimmy G said something of it, and Edelman said something of the same thing. What's your thought process hearing this?
If you can make as much money as Jimmy G has made and not play injured, God bless you. Let the rest of these dudes who haven't leveraged their leverage the way they should have go out there and play with broken this and broken that and fibula this and all this other stuff. If that man finagled the game and played the game correctly and made a ton of goddamn money sitting behind Tom Brady, then made some more money in San Francisco, and guess what? He's going to make some more money in another city not playing injured. What you better do is go find a Jimmy G blueprint on how he did it instead of trying to critique it, because you'll live a happier life. He's not going to be limping much when he retires, and he'll be on ESPN being a commentator.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that one too. Fig, you up next, bro. Talk to me. Tell me what you think about Jimmy G and with this shoulder surgery situation.
Listen, I don't know a quarterback that could do anything with a shoulder injury. Mm-hmm. Look at the way we're talking about Baker Mayfield, who went out on the field injured and played, and they talk about his play was garbage. Nobody talked about the fact that he was injured. Nobody talked that he had multiple injuries, and that might be the possibility why he didn't play up the potential. But you want Jimmy G to go out there and play injured, play like garbage, and then his next contract is going to be just as garbage as his play. Oh, man, if y'all don't stop this nonsense, not in the NFL. If you play injured in the NFL, that's what it stands for. Not for long.
Yeah. See, what's your thought process?
Hey, Frank, Baker Mayfield paid injured, and they wound up giving somebody else $230 million guaranteed.
That's a great point. T, what's your thought process on this?
Man, listen, man. Jimmy G. I can't believe we're back on Jimmy G. Jimmy G, we go back to all those Nick injuries we were talking about. Jimmy G had all of them. Jimmy G? Yo, I'm with Mike, though. On some real, like, if you can finagle the contract and the stipulations that come with that, with all these injuries, and still get all this guap after guap after guap, I mean, he getting the bag even when he can't carry the bag.
Ain't that the truth?
Think about that. He's getting the bag again and again, and that when they're giving the bag, he can't even carry the bag. And listen, more power to him. That's what you see, but that's the difference. Let this, like I said, find the blueprint, like Mike just said. That's the difference in this. Let's look at the positive side of this. This is how business should be done. So just in case you don't have the perfect, healthiest career, and you're out with these injuries, you're still well taken care of. He's not going to run for nothing. Going to be a great analysis. This, like Fig said, this is a shoulder. So I don't know how you expect him to play hurt with a shoulder. Like, it ain't like he came in and said, hey, man, it's a little tweak in my sciatica. It's acting up. This is a shoulder. This is the main joint of a quarterback.
What you think, D?
I think Jimmy G, I can't believe we're talking about this guy. I believe he's going to get an agent, join Scientology, and be a stunt double stand-in for George Clooney.
Scientology, I love it.
Only on this show where people would say Scientology in the same sentence.
I don't think you've never heard of it on any sports show ever.
Yeah, in Scientology in the exact same sentence. Mike Sean, you're going to be up first, man. Everything else. Excuse me. Where do you think Kansas City is going to be at the end of this year with the loss of Tyreek Hill? Because everybody's saying that even though they got the kid from Pittsburgh, that they should still be back in the AFC Championship game, even though they lost Tyreek Hill. Where's your thought process?
I'm not worried about Kansas City. Miami needs to be worried about where they're going to be, because Kansas City is going to be in the middle of the playoffs. Now, I don't know if this is a Super Bowl or not, but they're going to be in the middle of the playoff run, and they're gonna adjust to the situation that they have. I'm not saying that they're not going to miss Tyreek Hill. You have to miss a talent like that. But they can combine other receivers to try and make up for what they're losing. And I got trust in Andy Reid. Now, Miami, y'all have fun with that.
You heard that, Fig? He said, Miami, y'all have fun with that. Okay, Miami should be that. Everybody's talking about Buffalo, Fig. Everybody's talking about Buffalo should be in the Super Bowl, though, bro. Everybody clear across the board is saying Buffalo is the pick to make it to the Super Bowl and everything else. You agree or disagree with that, Fig?
Man, you know what? If you look at Buffalo's roster and the talent that they have, you say, oh, yeah, man, listen, Buffalo's going to make it. But man, the Buffalo's a part of New York too. I love Buffalo, man, but I think Buffalo, as far as NFL football, I think they cursed. I really do, because they've been to the Super Bowl or slated to be in the Super Bowl so many damn times and don't have one championship, man. It's got to be an omen. It's got somebody in Buffalo did something wrong with it as far as NFL. Today, I don't care who they got on their team. They just don't. They don't do what it is they're supposed to do. 4 years in a row with Jim Kelly, and they didn't get not one.
It's the curse of OJ. It's the curse of OJ.
Daniel Dugard. Everybody's expecting the Pittsburgh Steelers to have another winning season, but now they got a rookie quarterback, man. Do you think this could be their first year of them not having a winning season?
I don't bet against Pittsburgh. They might go 500. Is that considered a winning season? Because it's not a losing season.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't go 500. There's 17 games in the season. You can't go 500.
Okay, so it's 17 games in the season. So
you have a tie.
They can. You can have a tie.
You can have a tie.
So,
a tie. One game is tie. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough. But for some reason, Tomlin gets it done. He's a great motivator. So I say they'll go 9-7, 9-8, 9-8.
Okay. See, you have the last question today, bro. Tampa Bay, on the NFC side, Tampa Bay people talk about Tampa Bay has a possibility of getting back to the NFC Championship game. Some people even picking them to win as Super Bowl champ. And a lot of people are starting to lose their picks now with LA Rams because Tom Brady came back out of retirement and everything else too. So what's your thought on Tampa Bay coming out this year, T?
Well, I can see that. First of all, I can see that. First of all, I can see Gronk unretiring and making all the dramatic comeback and all that and getting in there. And, when him and Brady get together, big things happen, no question about it. So that's something that we gotta look out for, that unretiring thing, because people have been talking about retiring, then they unretire back and forth. Your quarterback just did it. So it's not that far-fetched that Gronk could do it in a month or so. You know what I mean? So I think it's crazy, but I think we definitely got to respect that. I wouldn't bet against it. I tell you that. I'm a betting man. I wouldn't. Somebody said right now, I bet you they don't, make a big splash. But here's a fun fact. Go back to the last question. The Steelers, Tomlin gets it done, so to speak. He give you a winning season and get in the playoffs, but check the stats. He hasn't won a playoff game in years.
Oh, I know that. I already know that part. Yeah, he hasn't won in years. All right, y'all, that's the show. Let me thank Daniel Dugard for joining the show today, man. Double D. Tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
Dugard 007, DUGAR 007. Facebook, Daniel Cottrell Dugard.
There it is.
Cottrell.
Daniel.
You almost choked coaches.
See, tell everybody out there how they can follow you.
Talented comedian, y'all. Instagram, holla at your boy, King Talon Harris, on Facebook. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Mike Sean.
At Mike Sean Comedy. And yes, this year I will be rooting against Tom Brady. He's redundant now. He's become redundant. So now he's the bad guy. And I root heavily against that man. Not injury, but failure. Failure for Tom Brady.
I do too. So hey, I've always that way. And Fig, tell everybody out there they can follow you, bro.
At Comedian Fig, and Double D is down with Jimmy G. And I think he's the guy, Gordon Cottrell. He's the designer. He's down with the diner, Gordon Cottrell.
Right, that's the show. My wife made me breakfast, so it's getting cold on me. So I got to get out and get out. Actually, it's anyway, we out of here, y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow is another breakfast show. We're gonna talk about more stuff.
Damn,
son.
Brunch.
I'll see y'all later.
That's how they do you in your house. They give you breakfast at 2.
Yes.